We follow a young man who works at a fast food restaurant. He's a compulsive eater. Unfortunately for us,
it's human brains he's after. Can he find it within himself to curb these insatiable appetites?
This is not happening.
Well, welcome back to the show, everyone. You're listening to This Is Not Happening, another X-Files podcast. With me today, as always, my good friend Andrew, and I am Mike. How are you doing today, Andrew?
Well, I'm not going to lie, Mike. I'm a little hungry. Look at that. Dipped into it right away.
That was, man, you didn't even waste any time.
It was just low-hanging fruit ready to be plucked right there.
But I guess I'm betting you've eaten dinner.
In fact, am not hungry. Thematically and theatrically, I am hungry for the purposes of this episode, but
I'm hungry to discuss the meat of this episode. And I'm actually kind of hungry in person because I have not eaten.
Because you eat after
dinner.
We record these.
I do eat dinner after we record.
So we're like 3 hours in. You're like, I want to wrap this one up right now.
Can we get done with this?
Yeah, but this one, Vince Gilligan, looking forward to this.
Yep. He's at it again.
He's at
From
it again.
Soft Light to Hungry. Here we go.
And directed by Kim Manners, worth noting. He's a heavy hitter.
God, I love Kim Manners. Sorry to see him go.
Yeah, that was rough.
Before his time.
It's worth noting that for this show, again, another very smart bit of production on the part of 1013, because at this point in their production cycle, David Duchovny is doing Return to Me and Gillian Anderson is working on The House of Mirth. So both of them have restricted availability for the X-Files. So what do you do if you don't have access to your actors as much as you need to? What do you do, Mike?
You blame Minnie Driver?
That is not the correct answer, but I like where you were going with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What you do is you craft an episode which is told from the perspective almost entirely of the villain.
I love it. It's really cool.
It's the
really unique. And
it's kind of the first time they've done it. So, I mean, it's pretty smart.
Pretty much. I was going to save that for my final thoughts, but I think the only time that comes close to it, not the same, would probably be Irresistible.
I was going to say Toombs gives us a lot of perspective from the villain. So much so.
Does it?
It does. Because,
the second episode does, I guess.
I remember us talking about that one, and I asked you, do you think that it improved the episode to have it from his perspective, or would it have been a different and possibly better episode if it was more conventionally over the hero's shoulders and you didn't know as much about the villain? And I think it's obviously a creature of its time, and it's a very good episode the way it is. But, as a thought experiment, interesting. Here, we are almost exclusively from the point of view of the villain, and I really like it. I think it's interesting.
Absolutely. Well, what do you say we bite into this one, sink our teeth into the brains of this episode?
Take a crunch out of it.
Take a bite, take a crunch out of it.
Insert your proboscis delicately through the forehead.
Proboscis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Proboscis.
I didn't mean to offend you personally on that
How
level.
Dare you get the word wrong?
Yes, I think it is time to sate our appetites by having a light lunch of human brains. That's all I got.
All right. Well, we open. It's Costa Mesa, California. It's midnight and a rusty old block of a car pulls up to Lucky Boy Burgers. No one acknowledges him in the drive-thru, so he calls for someone. The open sign in front of him turns off to his anger. Unfortunately, he doesn't give up, threatening to call the head office if he isn't served. He persists in giving his order, and after a moment is called forward. Satisfied he's made his point, he pulls up to the window. Inside looks dark. The machines are off, it's dimly lit. No one seems to be there. His attitude softens a bit as curiosity takes over. He gets out of his seat to peer inside looking for signs of life. Nothing. Just then, something leaps at him from under the window, roaring and dragging him into the restaurant. One of his flip-flops falls because, of course, this guy wears flip-flops. And the car, now without a driver, loses control and rolls out into the street and across the curb. So, I'm not alone in thinking this guy should be killed, right?
He was marked for death the minute.
He was marked for death immediately.
The minute he... Shall we list off his plot crimes? Because I think they went to special effort to make us want him to die, or at least be essentially fine with it when it happened.
We were okay the second he opened his mouth for this guy to kick the bucket.
Yeah, and feel free to play along in the chat or at home. Just either shout your messages or reasons into your speakers, or write them down. I will go first. I blame his shaggy long hair. That is clearly a reason why he was going to die in 1999.
Does not suit him. I don't know what it is, and no offense to the redheads out there.
Nope.
This just doesn't work. I'm sorry. I don't know. It doesn't work for this kid.
It doesn't work for him. That's for sure. Okay, so that's reason one. And now your turn. You go.
My turn. I don't like the fact that he is such a douchebag, and he's such a douchebag that he's wearing flip-flops with pants.
That's two reasons.
That's just my opinion.
But I think that because he's wearing flip-flops is an acceptable reason. But douchebag is definitely like the asshole factor. 100%. That was the end of him. He was never going to make it out of this alive. Okay.
Come on, dude.
That's two good ones. The choice of car is also, a reason he's marked for death.
Something about the X-Files, they choose the weirdest cars sometimes for the one-off characters or the guest actors, because the one that's about to show up also is the weirdest fucking car. That
car is basically a giant penis, and and he is the asshole driving it, so it is an extension of himself, and for that he deserves to die, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Do you have any other reasons? Because I have at least two more.
You have two more?
I do.
I hate his voice.
His voice is nasally and terrible, and it sort of goes hand in hand with his attitude, but I will accept that as an answer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I will accept that as a reason.
Okay.
The other reason I was going to give was the music he's listening to. Now, no offense to any heavy metal listeners, and I think now, Mike, is an appropriate moment that we should remark upon the passing of a legend. I will turn the floor to you.
The unfortunate duty to fall upon our shoulders is to raise a glass for the fallen Ozzy Osbourne, who passed away today. And I'm not sure, but I think mourning those who've passed has become a thing for us at this point. So
in no way connected to
tune in 2 weeks to see who else has died.
They go in threes, though. That's the unfortunate thing.
Oh, boy.
Yes. The music, turning away from that heartfelt eulogy, may flights of angels carry thee to thy rest.
No more tears.
The music in his 8-track CD player, no, it's probably a cassette player in this day and age, that age of car, is called Silence in the Mirror by Unearthed. And it's a very rare track, as it turns out. So maybe I withdraw that, because it's actually a pretty decent metal track, but because he's playing it and he doesn't seem to
makes
earn
it worse.
Marked for death. Yeah.
This guy listens to Dave Matthews through and through. We all know those people were douchebags. I'm kidding.
Fast forward 20 years, he's listening to Nickelback. That's who he is.
Ugh. Fuck that. Ugh.
Okay. I feel like that is a handful of reasons why he was never going to make it out of the cold open alive.
Not a one. Okay. Well, let's keep it going here. It's daytime now. We're back at the restaurant. A small, junky car rolls up and parks. A young man, Rob Roberts, gets out and puts on his paper hat, ready to work.
Welcome to Lucky Boy. May I take your order?
Yeah, we'll have it our way.
FBI, Special Agent Scully and Mulder. We'd like a word with your manager, please.
That's me. How can I help you?
Sir, would you do us a favor and gather your employees, please? Well, what's going on?
We're investigating a murder. A car was found in a reservoir 10 miles from here. A body was found in the trunk of that car.
Well, what does that have to do with us?
Well, this was also found in the car. It's a badge that's only given to employees. Is that correct?
Yeah, free for Fridays. It's our promotion where you buy one super patty and get one free. But look, there's 4 Lucky Boys in Costa Mesa alone and something like 30 in Orange County.
32.
Yeah, long day, so let's make this quick. Does everybody have their button?
We only wear them on Fridays. Free for Fridays.
Yeah, but does everybody have their button? Hey, you. Back there, what's your name?
Durwood Spinks.
Durwood. Do you have your button, Durwood?
No, I must have left it at home on account of we're supposed to only wear them on Fridays. I sure as hell didn't leave it on no dead guy.
I don't believe that we said the victim was male.
We're gonna ask everybody to step outside right now while we take a quick look around the premises.
Who was the victim?
His name was Donald Edward Pankow. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Well,
We had 2 people mark themselves in that scene. Good old Roberts trying to play it cool.
I think that it's a restaurant full of keeners and one, well, douchebag. The second. I mean, is that Durwood? Is that a trend in this episode?
You know what? I like Durwood more than I like the guy in the fucking beginning of the episode.
100%. He puts in the appropriate amount of effort. And he's a reformed criminal trying to make ends meet in a hard world.
Yeah, I'm actually on his side when he gets canned for being a criminal, an ex-criminal.
I think there's a lawsuit in the making right there.
That is a lawsuit. He's set for the rest of his life. From Lucky Boy Burgers.
Lucky boy. Yeah, so Durwood is clearly our first suspect. How on earth are there so many employees in a Lucky Boy restaurant? Like, is this a gigantic restaurant where
they're doing
different?
very well, and they want to make sure everyone's served promptly?
It's
And if not,
table
you're
service.
sweeping corners, you're mopping up puke, you're cleaning the ball pit.
Yes,
That's a
the
popular
world's
one.
worst job.
Ugh. All right, moving on.
Yes.
The employees are ushered out, having to wait until the agents finish. With the manager calling HQ, Rob takes the opportunity to sneak towards the drive-through window and flick on the microphone. He scurries back to the ordering speaker and listens as the agents discuss the case. Mulder has his theories, and Scully is quick to voice dissent. While she sees a machined hole in Pankow's skull, Mulder sees something more organic, like a proboscis punched a hole. His brains were eaten out. Roberts listens in, seemingly unfazed by the discussion. He goes home for the day and immediately heads to the bathroom where a tub of red water sits. He begins trying to scrub the shirt clean to no avail. Cut to him bagging it up in the garbage. As he's about to take the trash out, a knock at the door sounds. It's Mulder. As Rob answers the door, Mulder lets himself in very casually. He's unusually pleasant with Rob and asks him about staying late on Friday. Rob volunteered to stay late and throw out the old meat. While Mulder continues, Rob notices a small pink puddle forming under the garbage bag he was taking out, and his stress level rises. He looks back at the puddle, larger now, but is shocked back to the conversation as Mulder says the word blood. But he isn't talking about the trash bag. Roberts bit his lip, and a small bit of blood begins seeping out. It's here that the agent ends the conversation and goes to leave. When Roberts wishes him luck in catching the guy, Mulder, with a smirk, plainly states that he's pretty sure he knows who it is. How do you feel about Mulder so far? Because he keyed in on Roberts immediately.
I would like to think that he saw the bloody garbage bag and was like, well, that's suspicious.
You think?
Yeah, but it's not enough, I suppose. He's getting all the circumstantial evidence together. I like it because it's early on. We don't need to have the stakes given to us yet. You know, we're circling around the characters at this point. It's a nice moment where obviously we know we're in the shoes of Rob Roberts. We know why he is stressed out, and he could be discovered at any time. Is he going to get away with it, Mike? And I'm delighted that he does. In a way, I'm on his side, even though I know he's a horrible killer, but he has a penchant for killing killers. Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's okay, apparently, yeah.
I think Mulder pegged him immediately when they were in the restaurant, when he had that smart answer about we're only supposed to wear them on Fridays.
Oh, comedian, are we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his head turns to him. He's like, all right, here we go. For some reason, that put him on Mulder's radar immediately, which is why he's here.
Now, why would Mulder give up the name of the victim when Scully has withheld the gender of the victim?
I don't know. I don't know if they were withholding it yet, but
yeah.
But because he came out and said, I didn't put it on a dead guy.
Yeah. I mean,
it wasn't as much of a reveal as I like in those moments.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not you were in the forest with Ruby. You were from season 1.
I do.
He wasn't even there that night, or she wasn't, whatever.
You've given yourself away. Yeah. No, there's none of that here.
This one was a little less earned, I think. I mean, it's pretty, I would say something like Durwood Spinks would say, like, I didn't leave my button on no dead guy. I don't know why. It just feels natural to say that.
Well, yeah. And I mean, I imagine he's just subconsciously channeling the fact that the majority of murder victims are probably men because we're idiots, I guess.
Yes, very much.
I mean, I don't have the statistics to hand, but I'm sure we could find them out. I wonder if it's an equitable distribution. I would doubt it somehow.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, there are a lot of women who get killed.
It's true. Oh boy, I hate to speculate on that. I'm just gonna live in my innocent state of not knowing.
Yeah. Well, Rob shuts the door and takes a deep breath. Later on, a garbage truck picks up a can outside the apartment complex. Rob comes out last minute and heaves the garbage bag into the top opening of the truck. He glances at his fingers, which have droplets of blood on them, and begins licking them clean, aggressively, much like Toombs, who we talked about a moment ago. He's then startled to see a man in a red car across the street, looking at him. The man has a prominent nose, short brown hair. It's Mulder! Nope, just kidding. It's just a guy. He tells Rob to essentially stop staring and get lost, and the two part ways. Back in the apartment, Rob looks out the window at the man, still just sitting. A woman calls, Mindy Reinhardt. She works with the Lucky Boy Corporation's Employee Assistance Program and is meeting with each employee regarding the unpleasant circumstance they find themselves in. Rob is half listening as he cleans up his lip. He heads to the bathroom and begins removing his teeth, which appear to be one mold of normal human teeth over sharper rows of dagger-like teeth, Andrew. Oh boy, he's king of disguise. I gotta ask you, does he have like a props department friend or something where he's getting all this?
That's a good point. Well, of course, we don't get any of his monster backstory. Is he part of a long line of monsters that have disguise skills? Does his parents send him out into the world with a disguise kit and say, you be a good little monster now? We don't know. I do like the idea that he has adapted to his circumstances. And later on, the script is going to carefully say that he was doing okay. And it was in the last month that his hunger started to amp up. So clearly he's got, he's living in a world where he has life circumstances that can mess him up as well. Mm-hmm. 100% agree with you that I don't get that he is so capable a disguise artist, other than maybe he looks young but is in fact quite old, and he has been around and he's got skills.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be explained, but it is an interesting point.
Yeah. Well, his stomach growls, Andrew. His eyes express concern and desperation. He quickly loads a tape into his VCR and it's a self-help inspirational speaker. Rob grabs some of his Slim Chew gum and peers out the window again, all while the speaker describes his own struggles with food, eating anything, anywhere. It didn't matter. His hunger was controlling him until he took charge. Is it me on the tape? I'm not sure. But Roberts begins speaking in unison with the man's mantra, Ricardo, you are your own man and you control everything that you do. The scene ends on that positive note. We cut to the man in the red sedan outside who is sitting and smoking a cigarette. He again spots Rob walking swiftly to his vehicle, looking side to side. The boy stops at his door and stares at him. After a couple beats, Roberts cocks his head and reveals his teeth. He darts at the screen, hissing darkness as we hear the proboscis whip out and punch a hole into his skull. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
My God.
Props to Steve Kiziak as Steve, the private investigator, who is in fact David Duchovny's stand-in.
Yeah. Very, very good stand-in. Like the facial features alone are extraordinary.
Well, I clocked it as Mulder when I first saw him in the car and then had to rewind and go, oh, that's actually not Mulder. I mean, I thought that maybe they would do that thing where it is Mulder and then they swap him in when it's when he goes over to look. The fact is they didn't have access to Mulder. So, David Duchovny's Mulder. Can't remember that. So they didn't have access to him. So it's a nice little bait and switch. Mm-hmm. But what are the crimes for which Private Detective Steve is justifiably killed?
He's just a dick for no reason.
What are you staring at? Clearly he's a dick.
Yeah.
And number 2, can you get this for bonus points?
He's flicking a cigarette onto the ground.
He is a smoker. We'll accept that answer.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a smoker, but I thought you were going with the litter thing, but maybe not.
It's a minor infringement. In this series, if you're a smoker, you are 100%. They're probably morally cigarettes too. So you are 150% evil and are justifiably allowed to be killed.
I got it. That's the machine in Skinner's office. Not only does he have the cigarette machine, he has the costume machine that this kid is getting his makeup from.
What a connection. I would not have seen it had you not brought it to my attention. Wow.
Yes.
Third mystery invention.
Skinner is making a killing in Halloween costumes.
So
high quality.
If you're keeping track, so far, 2 people have been killed by Rob Roberts. Mm-hmm. And in both cases,
they're dicks.
I was going to say, as an audience, we are still on Rob's side. Like we still want him to escape detection by the agents. I don't think we want him to be discovered. We're like wondering, how is he going to get out of this scrape? How is he going to control his hunger and become?
I think the ultimate question for the audience in this episode is, can we forgive Rob for what he's doing?
Yeah.
Even though we're seeing him do awful things, right?
Yes.
So we still care about his character, which is a unique aspect of the episode.
Yeah, 100%. And it's the charm of this episode, really.
Mm-hmm. The next morning, Rob wakes up to a boot pressing on his chest. It's Durwood Spinks, who's picked his way into his apartment. He's a criminal, a secret he held until this whole murder investigation happened. He got fired last night because of it, and he's currently Scully's prime suspect. But he's not too worried about that. Why, you ask? Because he pulls a bottle of Rob's pills out. They're diet pills. He found them when he opened the day after the murder, but he didn't turn them in because he was going to be naughty with them, Andrew. He was going to take them not as prescribed. But then the news of the murder came out, and he realized there's a thumbprint on the container, a red thumbprint, and it's not paint. Roberts simply asks what he wants. Durwood interprets this to extort Roberts. He wants it all, the whole shebang, TV, VCR, everything in the bank. This will buy Roberts time to flee town. A knock at the door breaks up the transaction, and it's Rob's neighbor, Sylvia, a middle-aged woman. She saw the man outside all last night, and it scared her. She hasn't called the police yet, but encourages Rob to watch out for anyone suspicious or if he comes back. Durwood ends his meeting with Rob after Sylvia leaves. He'll call with the address to drop off all his new entertainment system and warns Rob not to skip town. He shakes the bottle of pills because he won't get far. What do you think? What do you think of good old Durwood here?
Okay. I love Durwood's low-hanging ambition. It's like, I guess I'll take your TV VCR. Whatever money you got, that'll do.
Yeah, he's not really after anything specific. He just wants to throw his dick around for a while. Get on his feet, take a couple days off before he finds another job.
I wager it's the beginning of a cycle of extortion. Well, this is a good down payment, but now
for
I'm
now,
take a cut of your earnings and such.
It's like Michael Weston and Burn Notice. They just keep adding to what he's got to do to find out who burned him. That's what his life would turn into.
Exactly. But yes, I do like Durwood. Props to the actor. You've seen him before in many shows. It's a nice twist. The diet pills being Rob's downfall. I dig it. Again, this is good craftsmanship for the script, and we love Vince Gilligan for it. Absolutely. I'm on board. I love this one. Why didn't they start the season with this episode?
Well, they had to make Mulder Jesus.
To get Jesus Mulder out of the way, just so we know.
It could not have been skipped. They had to do that.
Yeah.
Later that morning, Rob heads to his car, but is interrupted by Mulder once more. He's just arriving to talk to him. He saw Durwood Spinks a block or so from here. He's the prime suspect, or at least the police's and Scully's. No, he's not the guy for Mulder, though. Toying even more with Rob, Mulder tells him he thinks whoever the killer is has a compulsion to kill. He can't control it. Then he switches gears. The meat Rob threw out Friday. Who has the key to the dumpster padlock? Rob answers, we do, along with the trucking company. Mulder nods and begins heading back to his car. He's just tying up some loose ends. We go now to Irvin Medical Part. Rob steps into Reinhardt's office. She's a pleasant woman who sincerely wants to help him. As she begins routine questions, Rob's stomach once again growls, causing him severe discomfort. Her voice fades away slowly as the camera pulls into her forehead, Rob's eyes deadlocked on her cranium. As the music slowly intensifies and crescendos, he musters a distraction by asking her a question.
Do you feel
This murder that happened?
Yes.
What kind of a monster would do something like that?
I don't believe in monsters. But I do believe in people. And sometimes they do terrible things out of weakness or sickness or fear. But I do truly believe that deep down inside, even the worst of us wants to be good. Rob, is there anything that's troubling you that you'd like to talk about? I'm sorry, I thought I put that on voicemail.
Classic phone always interrupts the scene just as it's getting interesting.
Of course. Of course, it's Mulder. And although we don't hear him, it's classic Mulder, as in he's asking her to risk her license by telling him if Rob is there or not. But she refuses.
But we don't know that. I like that it's vague. That she says, well, it's
him. You can tell by her answers. I can't reveal that. That would go against confidentiality.
Yeah. It's a nice touch. And I like what it does to Rob. It just like immediately amps up his tension. He's like, oh, don't. Yep. It's Mulder. I can't. Curses.
It's that time, everyone. The Magus Media Production sales pitch. Please check out our homepage at magusmediaproductions.net so you can stay up to date on all of our shows. Check out our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Magus Media Productions, both of which have our Discord link on it, where you can join us for live shows as we record them for future release. At Magus Media Prods on X, our Patreon, patreon.com/MagusMedia, where a $5 donation will help us keep the lights on and bringing you new content, and you get some stickers. Thank you for your consideration and support. He uses that moment to escape and go to work. She calls to him, asking for him to please call her to finish the talk. At the restaurant, Robert is working the grill. He stares at the cooking hamburgers in front of him. In a flash, the next shot of them look like cooking brains. I want to say, that reminds me of Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, when he gets those visions of like the dog eating the flesh before it's happened.
Yeah.
It's
That's
cool.
a nice throw. I think it's a wonderful image. I have a feeling that it's the genesis for this episode. That Vince Gilligan had an image of
cooking brains.
the guy cooking brains on the grill and worked back from that.
They are very good, very disgusting looking.
100%. Amazing scene.
Well, breaking him out of his trance is Spinks, who has come to collect his final paycheck and quietly threaten Rob one more time. As he leaves, Rob gets an idea.
Worth noting,
Yeah.
Durwood setting himself up as quite the asshole means that, again, we are going to feel complete sympathy for Rob dispatching him from this world.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah. I mean, the biggest offense is dipping his boys in the coleslaw.
We were actually on side with Durwood until, he threw his dick around a bit there. In this case, kind of literally. But he does that, and that turns us off, and now he's eligible for death.
He should have just stayed home and waited for the mail.
That's could have been a stoner. Probably would have still been alive, but he blew it.
Well, we go now to Spink's home. Rob is inside, tossing everything around, looking for his pills. Nothing. Outside, we hear Spinks arrive on his motorcycle. He comes into a messy home and grabs a bat. As he scans the house, he steps on a pill bottle, breaking it. Now he knows who's in here, Andrew. He calls to Rob. Due to this, he tells him the deal's off. He found out that Pankow was missing his brain. He closes in on a pantry door, where inside, Rob is slowly removing his disguise, one ear at a time. Rob steps out with a new monstrous visage, bald, black eyes, no ears, sharp teeth. Immediately on sight, Spinks is caught off guard and drops his bat. Rob hisses and his tongue proboscis darts out, striking Spinks in the head, killing him.
Never drop your bat.
Never drop your bat.
Tactical mistake number 1. Always keep your bat up.
The next day, Rob visits Mindy once more. He asks for her help. He has a compulsion to eat, and he gets so hungry that he can't help himself. It makes him feel like a bad person.
Well,
she goes on a small.
He murders and eats their brains, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's really what you're feeling bad about, sir. You're not feeling bad because the brains taste nummy. She goes on a small tangent that annoys Rob because he's heard it all. Low self-esteem is like a funhouse mirror. What would Peter Jennings look like in a funhouse mirror? He'd look weird.
I just need to call out that she thinks Peter Jennings is the most handsome man. I think that is delightful.
My wife had the same reaction to that line like a week ago. She's like, what?
But did she think that Peter Jennings is an attractive Superman? I mean, I think we need to know.
I mean, I think she thinks Peter Jennings is not as attractive as, Yeah, there she goes. She says no.
Yeah, it's confirming. Okay. Well,
I think
Reinhardt, clearly. Peter Jennings is.
I think she'd rather ride a crippled Christopher Reeve than Peter Jennings.
Moving right along. As they say.
I'm just trying to catch you off. Accurate, she said. Okay. Well, she asks Rob to look in her hand mirror and tell her what she sees, or what he sees. The scene's a good one. I especially like Rob's reactions to the questions. Like, oh boy, here we go. He has no time for the therapist talk that she's laying on him. But
you know what's missing? What would have made that scene is him looking in the mirror and seeing his real face, without the ears and contact lenses. I think that would have been great.
Proving her wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she tells him there's a meeting she'd like him to go to tonight and heads for her desk to grab some information. Rob scratches his ear and, to his dismay, it pops off. But Mindy hasn't noticed. He quickly grabs it and presses it on as she comes back to hand him the information. He stands to leave, and she notes that he's always quick to leave. This makes Rob pause and say he's really trying to do right. He leaves. The camera lingers on Mindy's face. To do right? Interesting choice of words.
That
Now
looks like
she's
a
suspicious.
horrifying murderer that I've been counseling. Slightly turned on.
I wonder by the end of the episode.
Yeah, 100%.
A little bit weird. But Rob now heads home and gets another pained growl. He takes a pill and meets Sylvia on the stairs. She says she spoke with Mulder, who is now upstairs. She told him about the suspicious man and he's going to look into it. The agents now make an appearance to question Rob. Spinks has disappeared. They question again about him having seen Spinks. You said you hadn't seen him. Rob interjects. I barely knew him. If he was going to leave town, he wouldn't come tell me about it. But Mulder calls him on it. Who said he was leaving town? Personally, Mulder thinks whatever killed Pankow killed Durwood. And this catches Rob's attention. Mulder fills him in.
Also got to Mr. Durwood Spanks.
What do you mean, whatever it was?
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. We've been able to keep it pretty quiet up until now, but Donald Pankow's brain was missing from his skull. My partner was able to find something that was previously undetected. It was the tip of what can only be described as a tiny shark's tooth embedded deep in the bone. I think we're looking for some kind of genetic freak, a carnivorous predator as yet unidentified, a monster, if you will.
There's no such thing.
Now, don't you believe it? This thing definitely qualifies. It has a biological imperative to eat. I think it even ate that ground chuck you threw away.
Yeah? Why?
Because it can't kill with impunity, and it knows it. It knows that the more it feeds on humans, the closer it gets to getting caught. But the hunger is always there. And it satisfies it any way it can.
Why not just eat ground chuck your whole life, buddy?
Right?
Why bother with humans? I guess they're just not brains.
He keeps a cattle farm nearby in business.
That's right. You don't need the brains, do you?
Yeah, Roberts begins to laugh at Mulder, an idea so ludicrous for the natural world, he plays it as insanity. The agents end the conversation, and Mulder tells him to watch out for the monster. Rob stands up, shaken a bit, and unwraps the note Mindy gave him. Next, he walks into Overeater's meeting, already in session. He takes a seat next to Sylvia, obviously in pain. She comforts him and encourages him to share his story in front of everyone. He hesitantly obliges. Rob goes on to admit he has an eating disorder and begins describing the urge so powerful he can't resist. Then he goes on to describe the taste of the meat, the way it feels in your mouth, juicy, buttery. Of course, we know he's talking about brains, but everyone in the crowd is thinking filet. A man turns to share a thought with Sylvia, and Rob sees the back of his bald head, a pulsing brain taunting him. After the meeting, he and Sylvia arrive home together. She shares a funny story about her and her ex-husband, and the two part ways. She closes her door, and Rob heads to his, but before he can get there, his stomach grumbles. Slowly, he walks back to her door, eyes glazed over. He knocks half-heartedly on her door and begins removing his teeth. Knowing what is to come, we fade out.
And that's where we stop being sympathetic with old Rob.
He made a critical error with the audience here. He's killing Sylvia, who we all adore.
Yeah,
they
had
her
such
cookies.
a good time.
Why would he do this?
If only
knock on someone else's door.
If only Sylvia had been an asshole in some way, we would have been on side again. But
yeah, like what if her story was like she is clearly the bad guy here?
Oh, the police did
marriage
come
breaking
at
up
the end of her little story. So I guess she's a criminal.
She has to be on some level. I don't know.
Who are we kidding? We know he's horrible. That was the end.
Yeah. Rob Roberts, he lost us here. So
lost us.
The next morning, we see a garbage truck arrive, pick up a bin and dump it, and Sylvia's body falls in.
I mean, that is the most callous thing I think I've seen the series do so far. So harsh.
That is rough.
Yeah.
Rob watches to make sure. Then he grabs a bat gently and leaves his apartment. A moment later, he bursts back into his apartment and begins destroying everything in sight. His hands are wrapped in a towel so as not to leave fingerprints on the bat. Picture frames, VCR, everything is destroyed. His neighbors become disturbed at the noise and he yells back, telling them he's been attacked and they need to call the police. Quick cut to Mulder picking the bat up. Sans gloves, Andrew. Inspecting it.
Oh,
this is a crime scene and he's tainting it. I don't know.
Son of a bitch.
Durwood must be alive. He knows the game Rob is playing, though. The agent sits next to him on the couch. He's a little confused. Rob states that he lied. Durwood was coming from his place that morning. He said if Rob said anything, he'd kill him. Last Friday, he was there while Rob cleaned out the freezer, and surprisingly, Durwood offered to finish and sent Rob home. Rob wasn't sure why he was being so nice, but when he got home, he had realized he had the key to the dumpster and had to go back. Spinks was cleaning up blood. Mulder's facial expressions and reaction to the kid's story is pretty much in knowing smiles and glances at his partner like, this is hilarious. Do you believe this story?
Well,
he's not subtle at all in the fact that he doesn't believe Rob.
But what it is, Mike, is Mulder has a superpower now that he can read people's minds. So he can see right through this fabrication.
No. That superpower, as you say, is gone.
No, that's a real thing now.
No. But he plays along. That must have been pretty scary, he says. He asks Rob if he can recognize this guy and hands him a pamphlet with the suspicious man's face on it. He was a private eye. Sylvia's ex-husband hired him to spy on her. The man has now gone missing and was last seen here. But Rob declines having seen him. When Mulder suggests speaking to Sylvia, Rob interjects. She's not home. The agents leave with a word from Mulder. Don't worry, it won't be long now. Later, Rob begins packing things. Unannounced, Mindy shows up to check on him. She's shocked at the state of his apartment. Rob disregards her concerns and continues packing. He blames Durwood Spinks for the mess. He's going to a friend's house. He's fine. But Mindy sensed there were things he wanted to talk about. Rob's not in the mood, though, today. He doesn't work at Lucky Boy anymore, and she doesn't need to be here. There's no obligation. But Mindy stays as a friend. He tells her the Overeaters Anonymous meeting was a waste of time. The kid is obviously unhinged, stressed out, and he feels the walls closing in on him. He goes on a short tirade in a shallow attempt to excuse what's happening. Maybe some people have a biological imperative to eat too much, so why fight biology? She confirms he's tired of feeling guilty, and as he goes to leave, she says it. You killed that man, didn't you? Rob closes the door gently, the frustration mounting. He asks her to repeat that, and she asks why he did it. Rob asks if she's spoken to the FBI because she couldn't get those thoughts anywhere else, but she says she realized it at the end of their second meeting. She hasn't spoken to anyone about it, but she urges him to turn himself in and get the help he needs. Sirens in the distance slowly get closer. Rob yells at her and slowly approaches. You said you didn't believe in monsters. He begins removing his human disguise piece by piece. How about now? He hisses at her, baring his teeth and putting his hand around her throat threateningly. She's shocked at his new appearance, but is mostly composed. Instead, she puts her hand on his and says, you poor man, what you must go through. She caresses his cheek, and just then the agents bust in, guns drawn, surprising both of them.
My God, what a cock-blocking moment right there, honestly.
Huge cock-blocking moment. He was about to get, well, I mean, it's not appropriate. Let's just put it this way. She was about to throw her license out the window.
Or something. I think she's just too good for this world, which was why her life was truly in danger there. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, Rob turns around and Scully gasps. Mulder commands him to step away. Reinhardt asks them not to hurt him. They found Sylvia. They tell him to get on the floor. Rob, clearly struggling to decide how to handle this, twitches a little bit. Dr. Reinhardt makes one last plea to him, calmly asking him to do the right thing. Be the person you mean to be. He ponders this for a moment, but then turns to rush at Mulder, screaming and baring his teeth again. Mulder fires in defense, knocking him to the ground. Reinhardt approaches with sadness. Why? In his last breaths, Rob simply says, can't be something he's not. The end.
And straight to credits, too. There's no... There's not him and, struggling in a hyperbaric chamber going, I'd kill for a cigarette, Vince Gilligan was willing to let him go. Okay, there are two things about this last scene. One, I kind of wish they didn't have to end it with a death. Because a lot of this episode is about defying the expectation of what a monster is. And I thought there was like they did this with Tombs. They actually managed to capture the villain at the end, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought, you've set a precedent. It doesn't always have to end with American gun-toting justice. You could find a way out of this in a way that defies our expectations. Like him doing a death by cop is kind of the expectation there, and it's what happens. And I suppose, him saying I can't be something I'm not, I get it. But I kind of wish he actually becomes the stronger person there. I guess the episode won't allow it because he has killed Sylvia. Yeah. He's crossed the line. Now he karmically can't come back, but kind of wish that hadn't happened.
Yeah, I think it would have been a really cool redemption had he turned himself in. And kind of, this was his way of defeating maybe his hunger or taking control of his life. I definitely would have liked to see that ending. I don't hate the way it ended.
No, it's poignant. It
it's
works.
Believable. I mean, we've all been there, especially as a young person, sometimes where you feel like the only way is out. But
sorry, we've all been held at gunpoint by the FBI?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just making
right
sure
as you're about to get nailed by your therapist.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I wanted to say about the ending was I half expected her to take off her ears and fake teeth. Oh, I know exactly how you feel.
You can have a life.
Yes, I do.
You can have a life.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know what you go through.
We can go away together, and then the spaceship comes by, and they jump in, and then they fly away, and Mulder and Scully go in, and there's nobody there. Yeah, I wouldn't like that ending.
Romantic fairy tale ending.
It's better than Gender Bender, where the aliens just descend and take the villain away.
Yes, very true. Ugh,
well, that's all I wanted to say about the ending, and pretty much all I wanted to say about the episode. I mean, it's Vince Gilligan, another banger.
Yeah,
he's closed.
Very solid episode. Not much to say other than very well written. I enjoy the characters, even the quote unquote douchebag, Durwood Spinks. But you know who you're supposed to hate, and you know who you're supposed to like, and it's a unique episode. I think the fly on the wall of the killer and the killer's actions and trying to see how he's going to get out of the hole he's dug himself is an interesting take. And it was unique for the X-Files.
I mean, I guess it's interesting because they toy with us in terms of Rob's fate. Like through most of the episode, we're on his side and we think, we like this character. We want him to succeed or to beat his darker instinct. How is that going to happen? And we're on board with him through the entire show, right up until the point he kills Sylvia. And then it's like, he's been overtaken by the darkness and there is no redemption for him. So at that point, you really don't know what's going to happen to this character. Like logically, he should be like by the unwritten rules of screenwriting or pathos or whatever, he kind of has to die. And so the script kind of is pigeonholed into giving us that, which is why I argue it would be more interesting if he didn't. But it is neat because it does keep us guessing right up to the last minute.
Yeah. No, I kind of wish he had lived. Oh, well.
See? 100%.
What are you going to do?
And then he's in the cell and they're feeding him brains.
Do they feed him brains of people on death row? Like some kind of moral gray area where they're taking their brains out instead of, just letting them decompose. At least they'd be cooked, right?
He has a super ability that he can taste a person. What's that?
I said you're not laughing. It was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
It was a pretty bad joke, yeah. He has a superhuman ability in that he can taste somebody's brain and he can know whether or not you've got the prion disease, the mad cow disease. So he becomes a functioning member of society, giving back, and it's a happy story at the end.
Yeah, I like it.
You'd
He
pay
could
to see
be
that.
like Mulder and Scully's monster sidekick from time to time. I think they really missed an opportunity here where they could have a third cast member join them on cases.
I think that
Frolic.
Yeah. Chad E. Donnell, who played Rob Roberts, probably came back with a sequel script later on saying, guys, I got this idea for Rob Roberts' brother, Bob Roberts.
Todd Roberts.
And he's also got the same condition, but I'll play him because they're twins.
I'll play him. Anything to come back, please.
Yeah. I wonder where Chad Donnell's career went after.
Down the toilet. I saw him chance one-off. I was watching like TV in a hotel room once, and I think Fast and Furious 1 was on.
Yeah.
And I saw him in a group of people at like a family dinner or something. I was like, hey, it's Rob Roberts.
What? No way.
I swear to God.
Well, that's paying work. I mean, that's onwards and
Well,
upwards.
it is, but I mean, I haven't seen him since. No
Maybe he's in
offense
the
to
back-
him. I hope he's got a successful career.
I was going to say, I think he kind of made the character. Like it was a compelling
great.
performance.
Absolutely. And Judith Hogue, April O'Neil.
She played Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent cast members as usual.
As usual, it's never the cast. It's the problem with these shows. It's always the script that it lives or dies by the script. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've
Yeah.
eaten this episode to death. I don't know.
Have we dined out on this?
We took a bite out of this one. We got to the meat of it and enjoyed the work and
We've cut to the quick.
Yes.
Yeah, that works. No, brain puns. We have really rubbed our brains all over it.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah,
well,
that doesn't work. Yeah. Okay.
I think we've beaten that to death. But
Yeah.
I think this is a good place to end the episode. What I will say is, to all you fine listeners out there, we will have a special treat for you on Millennium next time. So be sure to join us live again at 6 p.m. CST when we
7 p.m.
record
EST.
that one.
Yeah, 2 weeks hence. Yes. Get your review of Millennium in now, because in the X-Files episode, it is going to tie up all the loose ends. Everything that you ever wanted answered from Millennium going to be completely tied up in a very satisfactory
Absolutely.
ending. I'm sure. I am sure.
Yep. This is working out exactly how Chris Carter wanted it to.
Vic has the best pun on it. Did you see that there?
It's your friend. You go ahead.
You got to the lobotomy of the story.
Bum,
Oh my
bum,
God.
ba-dum.
You're hired.
You're hired.
You got a future in this biz, kid. All right. Lovely listeners, thank you for joining us again, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.
Smell you later. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you liked what you heard, please rate and review on your podcast app of choice. Andrew and I would be eternally grateful to you fine people for helping us expand and get the word out. Also, we've got a killer group on Facebook. Feel free to join in on the discussion at facebook.com/groups/thisisnothappeningpod and become an official member of the syndicate. We do polls and we have questions for every episode to give you guys the opportunity to chime in and possibly let your voice be heard on our recordings. And please join us on our new Twitter at TINHXFilesPod, no dash, to stay up to date on everything, moment to moment. Thank you, and remember, don't stop swimming.